Morning, Raptor Freaks. Alexiot's here Monday morning, reacting to a loss in the preseason. To the Chicago Bulls. There's a lot to look at in this game. There's good and bad. There is some very good stuff that happened last night, even though they lost by 17 points. I mean, the score is not really reflective of different things about this game last night. The starters actually won the battle in this game. It's very much like the Boston game the other night with us in the reverse, where the Boston starters look way better than our starters at the beginning of the game, and we had a lead in this game like Boston did in the first half. And that is really kind of what you got to look at. Once again, we've got the starting unit, we've got the middle bench unit, and then we've got the end of the bench unit. And last night, the team that did the best out of those three for the Raptors was the middle bench. The middle bench was really, really good, actually. And in my 3 stars for the game last night came from that area of the bench once again, except for the second star. Now, Dalano Banton, once again, my first star of the game, 2 games in a row. He's shown he is absolutely really effective and doing a lot of good things when he's on the court. 17 minutes, 4 for 7. 3 for 3 at the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 11 points. Just really efficient. That's why I like him. And then also, he was plus 10. He was one of 3 Raptors that actually had a plus in the game yesterday. Most of them were all minuses. So, Dalano, you're star number 1 for us as far as things in a losing effort against the Bulls. That middle unit, Nick Nurse talked big about them after the game, said that team, he really liked what he saw. The team with Dalano and Juancho, Hernangomez, Thad Young, those were actually the 3+ players I just named right there. Thad, Juancho, and Dalano. And that middle bench did really good, but the starters were the next best, and they really did well themselves also. My second star for the game is Gary Trent Jr., because he was very efficient in his time, 6 for 8 from the field, 4 for 4 at the free throw line. He only had 1 3-pointer, but he was doing a lot of his offensive stuff, attacking the basket. And he was very successful at that last night, 17 points. And this is the other thing. Gary doesn't always fill out the stat sheet. Usually it's a lot of scoring and getting points, but not very many like rebounds and assists and stuff. But he got 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. So Gary Trent Jr., second star of the night. Dalano Banton, Gary Trent Jr., really happy with Gary looking effective and like his offense. And he just a bucket. You see him out there and he's going to make points. He's going to score. And I like that about him. And then my third star for the game is Thad Young. He only played 6 minutes, but he got 5 points. He had 2 steals. He had a block. He had a rebound. He had an assist. He played really effectively in a short period of time. In fact, he had that one nice 3 that he took in the game. So Thad didn't do a whole lot, but he did. He was very effective for just 6 minutes in the game. So Thad Young's my third star for the game last night. Now, it was really fun coming down to the game and meeting up with different people that are on this chat and come talk to me all the time. When I got there, Sue was already there, and it was really cool to see Sue and hang out with Sue. Adriana and Sue and I went to the game together. That's us in the picture for this stream. And it was really, really great to sit with Sue at the game last night and hang out and watch the game with her and stuff like that. So really awesome to meet you, Sue, and hang out. And, Sue actually had a Raptor encounter after we departed from each other, apparently. She's on her way to the car in the parking lot, and she gets in the elevator, and guess who's in the elevator with her? Chris Boucher. Yeah, it's too bad Chris was hurt from the last game and couldn't play in this game today. But Sue's had some very encouraging words for Chris, and he was very warm and inviting and friendly to her. And they had a nice little conversation. So it kind of comes full circle once again. I saw Chris Boucher last year at preseason before the season started and said, hey, what's up to him? And now Sue has seen him last night after the game. So very cool stuff with Sue meeting Chris Boucher after the game last night. That's so cool. Of course, we also saw the Sabourins came up and made us at the statue also, but unfortunately they didn't have tickets to come in. But always great to see David and Peter. And I see you guys are in the chat this morning too. Always great to see you guys. And then, of course, we did link up with Monique once we got in the building and visited with her for a little bit. Of course, Monique's such a busybody in the building. When she gets in there, she's just going around saying hi to everybody she knows around the Scotiabank Arena. But it's always good to see Superfan Monique at the game with a big smile in her proper habitat where she belongs, where she is happy. She is so happy there. I know I am too. That is my habitat as well, being at Scotiabank Arena at a Raptors game. Yeah. And then Bradley was apparently there, and I did see Bradley, Canadian Cowboy, but we didn't actually link, and I didn't know he was there, but I thought I saw him. It was this weird thing where I was standing near the back of the arena near Lord Stanley's mug, and we were waiting for Sue. Sue had got to go to the bathroom, and we're standing there waiting, and he passed by, and I was like, is that Bradley? It looks kind of like Bradley. And then, like, I saw he was wearing a black DeRozan shirt, and he had a young man with him that looked a little bit like him, and it was apparently Bradley with his son. And I did see him, but I wasn't sure it was him, so I didn't know to call out. And then, of course, in the chat later, we figured out it was him. And I should have been, hey, Bradley, Cowboy. It is what it is. Next time we'll have better communication lines. But I'm just glad you guys went to the game and hopefully enjoyed it, you and your son. That's awesome. Just great to see some Raptor freaks at the game all around, whether outside, inside, all around the arena and stuff like that. Good stuff. All right, Logical's here. He said, freak time soon. He had to miss the game because he needs to download it, see what's up. Salute to you, Logical Raptors fanatic, and check out their channel on YouTube. Good morning, David. Good to see you. Man, Dalano is playing so well. It's nuts. He has such a confidence to him. Like in his interview after the game, he was just like, yeah, I feel real confident right now. We can tell, Dalano. We can tell. Like you ran this whole head of steam through Brazil, through Las Vegas, through LA, all these different spots where you've been working out all summer and you have not stopped. And it is shown. This is a runaway train never coming back. Runaway down a basketball track. He's going to be in the rotation. And even Fred said it. In his interview after the game, he said, yeah, he's looking like he's going to be a regular rotation player this year with us, that he's going to have to play every day that we play because he is that good. So, yeah, really good job by Dalano. Definitely my MVP for the game last night again. G saying Raptors played 17 players versus Bulls playing 11. I really hope people don't overreact. Clearly, they were trying to see whom would make the roster spots. Exactly, G. And being in the building, I could tell, like, Nick Nurse, it's not that he waved the white flag. It's just if he really cared about winning this game, he would have kept playing the most effective players that he had out there during the game, which was a mix of Dalano Banton, Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet. He didn't care about winning this game. That's why he cares about seeing Justin Champagnie. He cares about seeing Gabe Brown. He cares about seeing Jeff Doughton Jr. So at that third quarter, it changed to kind of shifting. And then when they started taking over and they just won the game, that was really indicative more of, the Bulls are doing something different in their preseason than what the Raptors are doing. The Bulls are very effective, efficient, and doing a lot of things right. They did exactly the same kind of stuff that they were doing against New Orleans and their other preseason games. So they were very effective. Once again, the Bulls shot very, very well in all three categories. They beat us in every category last night, except for steals and blocks. They shot 50% from the field, which is pretty much where they've been shooting all preseason. We shot 35%. We had 11 more field goal attempts, and we made 9 less field goals. It is crazy how much we were ineffective and they were so effective. So they totally deserved to win the game. Their 3 points were 40%. We were 21% from the 3-point range. Really bad once again. We took 37 threes. They took 5 less, and they made 5 more threes than us. This is like not the kind of stat swings you want to be on, where you're taking more threes, but you have 5 less. You're taking 5 more threes, but you're making 5 less. That is crazy. And then the free throw line, once again, missing a lot of free throws, but not as bad as the other two games. 71% of the free throw line, 22 for 31 for the Raptors. Meanwhile, on the other side, Billy Donovan really got his guys shooting really high percentage in the 80s, 84%. And that has been the way they've shot this whole preseason. I'm telling you, it's a carbon copy of each of the three Chicago Bulls preseason games. Look very similar stat-wise as far as they're winning the shooting battles, and DeMar DeRozan has 20-plus points in 20 minutes. And that is really what happened with DeMar. DeMar is so efficient, so amazing, and I can't get mad at him. 27 minutes, 21 points, 7 for 12, 7 for 7 at the free throw line, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. There you go. He almost had a triple-double. DeMar DeRozan, we love you. We yelled it to you and we cheered you and stuff like that. In some ways, it's kind of like Casey with Detroit. You know, there's a little bit of get back, a little bit of DeMar DeRozan's revenge. And that if somebody's going to come into our building and beat us and do this kind of stuff to us, I'm glad it's him. Because in some ways, maybe it helps him heal over some of the things that happened between our franchise and him and the way he left. So I don't get upset when DeMar does this to us, because in some ways I want him to feel better. And he did. He was posting stuff on Twitter after the game, talking about, he posted a song that is a very healing kind of song that's on YouTube. I went and listened to it. And, he spent time after the game. Listen to what Doug Smith said on his Twitter after the game. It was like 45 minutes after the game. The bus is waiting, and DeMar DeRozan's on the Scotiabank court meeting with about 45 kids from St. Oscar Romero High School in the Humber Black Creek Weston area. You know me, love it here, he said. We'll say it again. This kid is special. Yeah, that just illustrates the connection he has with our community. And then, when he retires down the road, I hope he comes back and spends a lot of time in Toronto and comes back and gets all that love that he still has here and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, if we're going to lose, if it's against DeMar, I don't feel as bad. I don't feel as bad when it's DeMar and stuff like that. But this is a good point by G. They're doing different things, the Bulls. Like, they played Ayo pretty much the whole game. That the guy they started at point guard, Ayo Dosunmu, he played most of the game. And that is like, their starters played a good chunk of the game. Kobe White, 30 minutes, Patrick Williams, 21, Zach LaVine, 24, Vucevic, 26. Those guys, and you're right, they didn't play like guys like Costas and Antetokounmpo. We didn't see Simonovic. There were a lot of players that they didn't play. So that kind of affected the way that the game went down. We won the first half. We were up by 10 at halftime, and the starters looked capable. Things were moving well. Scotty shined really nice in different ways with things that he did. Pascal had some effectiveness and stuff like that. OG was a little rusty, but he had his moments here and there. And Fred, I love seeing Fred hit that three right at the beginning of the game, just to be like, y'all shut up about our three-pointers. Bam, we're all right, and stuff like that. Fred's interview after the game was very telling. He's saying, look, I don't give a shit how I look in October, y'all. I'm not going to try and bust my ass in October just for you guys, for your pleasure. Doug Smith is what he said. He said, I care about where I'm at in April. I care about where I'm at in May. And I'm not really worried about October. It'll all come together. In fact, he said he has a date penciled on his calendar that's October 19th. And that is the game against Cleveland here in Toronto, the opening game of the season. That is when Fred is said he's on track to be ready. So he's not even ready in some ways with what he's doing. So it's like, we need to stop worrying about them, because in some ways their minds on their schedules have nothing to do with what we want or our notions of, they just need to win all the games. These guys are preparing for the season, and these games are useful to get ready for it. And it's not necessarily about the W. It's about your body and getting it in the right rhythm, in the right shape to be ready for the opening game. And this is something Fred wanted to remind everyone about, things about reading into preseason games. That if they really cared about winning, a certain five would have been out there in crunch time trying to win the game for us when we were only down by 10. And, we want to give these guys these kind of opportunities to be heroes Gabe Brown, Josh Jackson, Jeff Doughton Jr., all those guys, Justin. And, they didn't rise to the occasion and steal the game and win it, but that was a pretty talented mid-level, like mid-bench Bulls team. Like it may be like this, teams have different, the Boston starters may be better than our starters. At least they looked that way the other day. But our starters may actually be better than the Bulls starters. But then the middle bench is very even at that point. And, their end of the bench may be a little more stronger than our end of the bench. And especially when they're playing their middle bench against our end of the bench, well, we saw it because Patrick Williams, Io, those guys that were playing against us near the end of the game, that was really their middle bench, not their end of the bench third string guys like we were playing. So that's a part of the difference in how the margin expanded in the last quarter of the game also. Is that you got to look at which parts of the bench the Bulls were playing against which parts of our bench we were playing. And that the talent mismatch was partly there and stuff like that. So, all right, let's keep going. I ain't worried. I'm not going to lie. Logical's not worried. I'm not worried either. We're seeing enough good stuff right now. Good morning, Monique. Good to see you last night. I know you were so happy to be back in the building. And it is awesome to be getting ready for another Raptors basketball season. And it's so happy to see everybody around the building, stuff like that. G saying, Bulls second unit beat Raptors third, but the starters and Raps key bench pieces were up 3 at the end of the third. This game actually was reassuring. Yeah, that's the weird thing about it. Being in the building and watching it, there's a lot of distractions. We had to move around a little bit, and I missed little parts of it, but I did go back and watch the highlights as much as possible and stuff like that. But this is really true, and this is kind of what I was just saying is what G's saying here. It's crazy. I didn't see the comment before, but once again, great minds here in the stream. G and I are thinking alike here. And this is a really good way of saying it. The Bulls second unit really was the team that won this game for the Bulls. And they had to play against our starters. They had to play against our second unit. And then they had to play against our third team also. And that's where they really took away part from us. But otherwise, we were competing very well. In fact, beating the Bulls with our starters and our middle bench when we played up against them and stuff. So that's very encouraging for sure. Very encouraging. Nameless saying, I saw you on TV last night, Lex. Just kidding. Bam. Nameless, you probably didn't. But, I will tell you, I was very loud at times. You can ask Sue. There were a couple times where I sparked the fire of a very good defense chat or let's go Raptors chant. Just let's go Raptors. And then it just picked up and it goes and stuff like that. I was trying to get a chance to yell to Scotty because at one point we did get down in the 100s and I was yelling, Tom Duke, and Scotty. And he didn't hear me, I don't think, but he was doing a little bit of looking around and stuff like that. I was yelling a couple things at him. He's pounding around with OG on the bench at that time. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying this morning. There's some interesting stuff about this game last night. Not really it's crazy. You could get really down about it, but why? Why get down about it? David said, I actually thought they played very well, weirdly enough. I did too. I thought that the ball was moving really well at the beginning. Like there was some really good two-man stuff that Pascal and Scotty were doing with each other, was switching and passing it back and forth. Now, the assist total didn't look right at the end of the game still, but at least the ball was moving well. We just didn't see totally the fruits of it, that we were moving it around and playing off each other much better in this game last night. So that is a positive sign. It's just we need to execute it just a little bit better because the assist numbers were anemic once again. I think we only had 19 assists. So it was even worse in some ways. No, we had 14 assists. That's even worse. 29 assists for the Bulls, 14 assists for us. That's half the assists they had. That's really bad. We got out rebounded by them. I mean, we got beat at every category by the end of the game, but it really was the last part where they were absolutely drubbing us with their second unit against our end of the bench. The turnovers, they had way more turnovers, at least we could say that. And we had 16 steals in this game. That is absolutely fantastic. There was a lot of good defensive energy in this game. A lot of good deflections. A lot of good just on them and bugging them and stuff like that. So there are bright spots to look at from a loss to Chicago last night. Let's see. Nako's saying, I thought OG had some eye-popping plays first quarter. Yeah, he had a little bit of bully ball. He was missing some shots early. He didn't look the sharpest to me, but he had a couple of things that he did at some point and stuff like that. Let me see. What did he end up with? Yeah, he only 4 points, 2 for 7. He was missing a lot early, and his 3-point shot's not right now. He missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts. Now, one thing that OG did that was absolutely impressive and everybody was freaking out about on Twitter was blocking Zach LaVine twice. That he blocked him twice and it looked real good. And everybody's talking about, yeah, defensive player of the year. This man needs to be on all defensive and stuff like that. So OG's defense was actually absolutely great last night, even though his offense struggled. He didn't do that well on the offensive end and stuff like that. So Monique saying, finally got my hug from Chris. So you saw Chris Boucher also last night? That's awesome. So Monique saw Chris and so did Sue. And, he's not going to be out that long. He's going to be fine. He'll be, I didn't even see how he got hurt in the game against Houston. And I did hear that he had to leave and go to the back in the middle of the game. But I didn't even see that. I don't even remember the play or anything. So, but he should be all right. Logical saying everyone had a good time. That's great. It's just nice to be back in the building and have those vibes and just be feeling them and stuff like that. And, Nako's saying out of the deep bench, Juancho seems to fit the best with Nurse's scheme. Yeah, Juancho got a little bit of derision in the last week. There's some people on this channel that are saying that he looks like Svi 2.0. I'm not going to name them right now, but Juancho did really well last night. In fact, I thought about making him one of my stars because he had the highest plus minus. He was a plus 12 for us, the best out of every one of the Raptors last night. And he was very he didn't do a whole lot, but he had that one nice 3. And it really was a play from the Spanish national team's playbook where they set him up at the top of the key, kind of hedged to the side, and he catches it real quick and just shoots. That looked real nice. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Nothing really fancy or anything, but looked fine and looked great. Like a lot of people probably say, Juancho's fitting nice after the game last night. So I like what he did last night, and I think you're right, Nako. David's saying he moves really well off the ball and seems to be able to sneak into those open spots. Yeah, Juancho. Yeah, I think so too. He's going to pay off in some ways that we didn't actually realize. I really think the 3-point shot is going to be very much there, and we will be able to depend on it this year. Different than Svi last year, that we'll get that from him, that he will be more successful than you realize, getting his threes to go in. Let's see. Nameless saying, doing a CPR course and listening to my man Lex. Hopefully none of you ever choke around me. Ugh! Maybe we need you down by the court just in case some players are choking. Yeah, we get Nameless in there. So you're choking. He's like, they're in the middle of the game. They're playing and they're choking, but not really choking. And Nameless is running on the court, putting his fingers down their throat. Fred's like, what the fuck is this guy doing? You're choking, Fred. I have to help you. CPR. They're like, get him out of here. That's silly. Well, I don't know why I thought about that. All right, Summer Lowe's here. Good to see Summer. Precious still does a lot of boneheaded moves. It's quite frustrating. Yeah, he's a young player, but you know what? I don't remember too much of the stuff that you're talking about. He didn't have a great game. He was 2 for 10 in 20 minutes, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, 6 points. He only had 1 turnover though. So I don't know. It's tough to say. Once again, he could have been way better. Obviously, he missed a lot of shots, but also he's in there fighting. He's doing different things and stuff like that. I have to remember what plays you're talking about exactly because I didn't really see him looking too bad. It's just that him and OG just couldn't score for a while. They both had goose eggs for most of the first half. And I was noting that with Sue. I was saying, it looks like OG and Precious are having a hard time scoring right now. They had a little bit of hard time in the first half, but they did a little better later. Let's see. Monique saying, they fumbled in the fourth. They traded too many buckets. They just didn't play. They didn't play to win. They weren't trying to win in some ways. They really we were mismatched at that point when Jeff Doughton and all those guys came out there because they, like we said, the Bulls did not go all the way to the deep bench. They played their second unit more, and that's a talented second unit. Kobe White, Patrick Williams, Javonte Green, guys like that were playing near the end of the game. Io. And those are better quality players as far as on their bench where they are and stuff like that. So it was a bit of a mismatch, a talent mismatch at the end. Good morning, Randolph Phillips. I know what you're saying. Peace and blessings to the Raptor Freaks. We love you, Raptor Freak Randolph Phillips. It's good to see your name here, even though you retracted your message. I'm going to know what you said anyway. All right, G saying 3 of their 5 more threes were from Drummond. Drummond didn't make a single 3-pointer last season. Is he just dusting off a new weapon for him or something like that? He made all 3 of his 3-point shots and missed 2 2-point field goals for 3 for 5 from the field. And this is crazy. Like, I was like, when he hit those threes, I was like, who was that? Was that Williams? And he's like, no, that was Drummond that made that. And I was like, holy crap, wait, why is Drummond shooting threes? Is what I was thinking when I saw the first one. And then we got 2 more later, and I'm like, whoa, this is not a good sign. This is some sort of weird secret weapon. Andre Drummond bombing threes all of a sudden. Very crazy, because this has not been something that he has done in his career ever, really, at all. So now this is really weird that he was perfect, 3 for 3 from 3-point range. And yeah, I don't like this development totally and stuff like that. And of course, all right, our guy Dragic didn't even play in the game. It's hilarious. He didn't even dress. Probably didn't want to ruin those vibes of the good vibes with Demar Derozan coming back to Toronto. Let him play. Let him shower him with love. And let's not get that other side of the coin with Dragic coming in the game, booing the hell out of him, just like we probably would have. So, yeah, probably smart that you put him in street clothes and didn't even use him last night, Billy Donovan. I'll bet you he's not even hurt. It's just that he didn't want to feel the wrath. And it was cool. It's like I almost forgot he was even there. It was at some point in the fourth quarter, I turned to Sue and I said, they didn't even play Dragic this game. And then at the end of the game, I saw him in his street clothes palling around with Scotty. Scotty went over and he was talking to Williams, Patrick Williams of FSU, and Goran Dragic. He had his arm around both those guys coming back. But, yeah, I'm really happy about what Scotty did last night. He did a couple of Kawhi moves last night, and they were very, very nice looking. He made them, and they look really effective. So good way to be more aggressive last night, more effective, Scotty. You played really well last night in some ways. Let me look at his stat line real quick. Scotty Barnes, 24 minutes. He was 2 of 6. He could have shot a little better. He did miss 1 free throw, but 8 rebounds, 1 steal, and 7 points. Like, of course, he can improve on that. But there were some bright spots and signs that, the 2 baskets he made were very interesting baskets. Like I said, they were very much Kawhi kind of low post, kind of spin off guys and get you shot and go over. Now, one thing I will say is he wasn't trying to be a point guard last night because he didn't get any assists. So maybe it was that they were using Fred and Pascal more to distribute the ball last night in some ways. And they're pulling back a little bit on Scotty doing the point guard mentality thing just because it hasn't looked as totally smooth with everything right now. And they want to get him back in the groove just in general and stuff like that. So very interesting, very, very interesting. David thinks it's bonkers that Drummond was hitting threes last night. I think so for sure. Logical saying DeRozan's still a part of us for sure. Yeah, him hugging Nav Bhatia, him going by and saying hi to everybody. It's a similar thing with Chuck Swirsky being there. He's like a part of our family too, and people want to come say hi to him and say good things and say what's going on and all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Nameless saying, in case anybody doesn't know, that's the damn ghetto, y'all. I don't know. Obviously. All right, let's see. Cool Cat. Did you make it to the game, Cool Cat? I know you weren't sure if you got tickets or you had tickets or not. We looked out for you, but we didn't see you. But either way, I'm sure we'll link up or some way, somehow, someday, and stuff like that. Good morning to you, Cool Cat. Love seeing Demar as usual. Also, yeah, he is one of my favorites, and like, there's just so much about him that I like. Just about who he is and just all kinds of different things about him and stuff like that. It's tough to see him in other jerseys, but it is also like really, he feels the love from us. We really did give him good love last night as a crowd and stuff like that. Monique's saying, I feel people are going to come down on Scotty. He's so young and learning. Stop it. Yeah, there are a lot of people being critical and stupid stuff, saying stupid things and stuff like that. it's going to be a journey. It's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be times where he's not going to look good. And yeah, we need to just accept it and try and support him through the bad times when he gets back to the good times, because the good times will be coming back again for sure. For sure. Saluting Cool Cat. Yeah, Cool Cat. G saying, I told those fair weather fans whom turned on Pascal and Fred that Scotty was next, that part of our fan base needs to be traded to the Lakers. Hell yeah, G. Can we arrange this? Let's call Rob Pelinka right now and say we'd like to trade some of our fan nation to Lakers Nation, because they fit in real good with how you guys treat your team. So we'd like to get rid of all the people that are talking trash about Scotty, talking trash about Fred, talking trash about OG, anything that they're saying that's negative. Can we trade them to y'all? And I don't even know if we want fans back from y'all's fan nation. Can you send us some celebrities? Like maybe this is like the Chappelle draft and trading and stuff like that on his show. So send us some celebrities. Yeah, maybe send us some of our Canadian celebrities back. Like we want Michael J. Fox back and, Jim Carrey and people like that. You send us all our Canadian celebrities back from Hollywood, and we'll send you our toxic fans. I like that. David's laughing about it too. Randolph Phillips saying, morning, blessings to Raptor Free Gang, visiting my mother who's very sick in St. Vincent, Grenadine, West Indies. Oh, I'm sorry to hear this, Randolph. I don't like hearing this at all, but safe travels and have a nice time there. Besides that, I hope that she recovers and everything's good. I have many friends from St. Vincent. My good friend Ron Coburn, he used to work at the Air Canada Center with me in the departments there. I love you, Ron. I know you're doing well, you and your family and stuff like that here in Toronto. Makes me think of Ron, my friend from St. Vincent. Yeah, Randolph, I hope everything gets well. And thinking of your mother and good vibes, and sending her good healing vibes and everything working out in St. Vincent with you guys. Cool Cat saying we're focused on deep playoff run this year. Yeah, this isn't the time that we're worried about October winning. We're worried about winning on the 19th and going forward from there. And Fred made that very, very clear. It's like, and Nick did too, by the way that we played the end of the game and stuff like that. They really cared about playing that game. You think they would have had the third guys out there? No. They would not have. Let's see. G saying Randolph's wishing well. G's wishing well to Randolph's mother also. That's good. Yeah, good supportive Raptor Freak cult, looking out for each other and caring about different things and stuff like that. This is good. This is good. All right. Let's see. Oh, it jumped. All right, here we go. All right, Logical saying facts, Cool Cat. Nako saying Patrick Williams and Io should have pretty good upside. Io looks great. He looks fantastic. Let's look at some Bulls stat lines real quick. Io was starting 29 minutes, 5 for 10, 2 3-pointers, perfect at the line, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks at the point guard, and 14 points, plus 27. He was their biggest plus minus. So Io, you could directly say he was the big driver of the Bulls winning this game last night. Patrick Williams, 21 points 21 minutes off the bench, 1 for 8, didn't shoot that great. And actually, a lot of people in the Bulls Nation are saying he shouldn't be on the starting lineup this year, that he should lose his starting job and be off the bench. So it was really Green off the bench that was really effective for the Bulls. 7 for 8, 16 minutes, 5 rebounds and assists, a steal, 3 turnovers though, but 17 points for plus 27, just like Io. So those two guys were really the driving force between them for the Bulls to win and stuff like that. So yeah. Let's see. Randolph Phillips saying, here for my updates on all I missed since Friday. Oh, well, it's different things. We've been trying to stand up for the Raptors as far as like people overreacting after a loss to Houston and just kind of having a good time, stuff like that. All right, Regel's here, and he wants the Raps to tank for Victor. You're crazy, Regel. We don't use that word here because we don't believe in tanking being a valid or good strategy. It's for losers. It's for people that are wanting to be losers. So no, we don't want to tank for Victor. This is a silly, stupid strategy where we have so much good stuff on our team. We can't help but win. You think we're going to try and tank with this team where we're going to be winning by accident with this? So no, Ragul, sorry. I thank you for your subscription, but we are not going anywhere near Victor. So get that dream out of your head. It's not even going to happen. I know that they're not even thinking about this. I know some of y'all, the fans, are saying this and stuff like that, but y'all are ridiculous. We're not the Spurs. We don't have a garbage roster. We have a very good roster. So trying to tank this year would be very, like, not natural for what we are and who we are and what we're doing. You ask the Philadelphia 76ers what tanking is like and what it does to your team. And I don't want to have anything to do with that kind of dumpster fire stuff. So strike on that one, Ragul. We are not tanking for Victor. All right. Yeah. All right. Duke Rocks is saying Banton was impressive. 2 of the Bulls' 5 starters played the 4th. My biggest frustration was not making our open looks. Yeah, that is really, we're not sharp with our shots. We have wide open shots that if they just go in, it changes things a lot and stuff like that. So this has been a frustration for me too. We want them to look sharp. We just saw them in Rico Hines like a month or so ago, 2 months ago. They should be sharp, but they're not. It is what it is. The Bulls look sharp. The Bulls are hitting their shots, DeMar especially, but we're just not that way right now. But as Fred and Nick have said, right now is now to figure it all out. And when the season starts, hopefully this kind of shit ain't going on no more, because that's what we need to do. We got to get out of it before we play Cleveland for sure. Fun guy saying we were owning them, and then Nurse kind of shut us down, put in Thaddeus, so no biggie, the loss. Actually, when Thad went in, that was good. We were winning with the starters, and even when Juancho, Delano, and Thaddeus and Precious came in, we were still winning then. It really wasn't until the second half. And, it was like at first it was Koloko came out. Koloko didn't have a lot of minutes. He didn't look as good in this game as he did in other games. And then, started bringing Jeff Doughton, Justin Champagnie, those guys. That's when it started to go downhill with us. As far as we couldn't keep up with them. They were getting the ball, turning it over and running down and getting dunks and getting easy points and just building a margin. These guys couldn't score for the most part. The end of the bench guys last night. Jeff Doughton had some nice little offensive stuff at the end. He was the one that looked the best out of those guys to me. 3 for 4, 6 points in 8 minutes with 2 steals, 2 really good steals too. Jeff Doughton looked really good in his little bit of time. Otherwise, the other guys that are fighting for stuff at the end, Champagnie finally got out there, 8 minutes. 0 for 1. He hit 1 of his 2 free throws. He had 1 rebound and 1 point. And that's in 8 minutes. I mean, I know this maybe, I don't know. I don't want to harp on it or anything, but that's really not good production totally for how long he was out there. He was out there battling, and I saw him real close on some of those rebound battles and things like that. He was doing a little bit, tipping the ball around too and keeping it alive. And I'll give him credit for that kind of stuff. But, we want to fill these minutes with more than we did last year as far as bench guys coming in, stuff like that. Even Kem Birch, 0 for 3 with only 2 points at the free throw line, but he did have 4 rebounds in 6 minutes. That's productive to me. Josh Jackson, 8 minutes, 1 for 9. He missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts, only 1 rebound and 2 points with 2 fouls. Not the best game for Josh Jackson. He's had 1 really good preseason game, and then he's had a couple of duds in a row now. That's not good for him. Even Gabe Brown looked really bad last night. He missed both his 3-point attempts, didn't look right. 6 minutes, no other stats otherwise. So the end of the bench guys did not look sharp. Ron Harper Jr., once again, another goose egg. And just, it is what it is. These guys are figuring it out and stuff like that. They just didn't look like they did in Boston, that's for sure. All right, let's keep going. Nameless is saying, any word on when Porter may return? I'll bet you that Porter may be ready for the first game of the season. It may be as simple as that. It was like, we don't need to play you in preseason. We know who you are. We know what you can do. And you don't really need to eat up any of that time for some of the younger players to tune up and show what they can do to make the team. So I think Otto Porter probably will be playing in the first game against Cleveland. So expect that probably. I would say that, Nameless. Kenny saying happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Kenny. And happy Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving to everybody out there who celebrated this weekend. Hopefully you had a very nice time with some people that you love in your life and stuff like that. Family, friends, whoever. And I'm thankful for basketball being back. That's right. There were signs like that up in the building yesterday that I am thankful for the NBA and the Raptors playing at Scotiabank Arena once again. And I will echo that and say that myself. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for this channel, and I'm thankful for having great friends. Like meeting Sue last night for the first time in person, and the Sabourins, of course, and Mo and Bradley, everybody. I'm just thankful for Raptor Free Cult, Raptor Free Channel, basketball, the Raptors, living in Canada, living in Toronto, everything in general. I have a lot of things to be grateful and have gratitude about. And I appreciate that. I love the pies there, Nameless. Some pumpkin pie. You know, I love that right now at Swiss Chalet, you can get the festive special added on. So like I'll get like the ribs, but I'll get the festive special add-on. So I'm getting the stuff in the cranberry and the little Lindor chocolate with the ribs, which you can't normally get. Yeah, I'm all about that right now. Order Swiss Chalet just to get all the trimmings. Yeah. All right, let's see. No Nameless. Monique's talking about Porter. I don't know. Nobody said officially. I'm just going to project that it's going to be the first game of the season. If it's not, then maybe it'll be a couple of games in. We may know more about when he's projected to come back when the season actually starts. They're just keeping mum on it right now. Could be that he's pretty fine. He could actually play right now. It's just that they want to use the little slight hamstring twinge as an excuse that, you know, they don't need him eating up minutes or stuff like that. Maybe they see stuff in practice and they're like, yeah, he's good. We don't need to put him in a game situation. He's a vet. He's been playing in the league for a long time. Duke saying Rap's not tanking for Victor. Laugh out loud. However, I believe 1/3 of the league will. Got to keep an eye on that for fantasy for sure. I see you guys have made some fantasy moves in the last couple of days. Very interesting. I am very impressed with OMARI. OMARI is very astute. He went and grabbed Banton. He dropped Thad Young and went and got Dalano Banton on his fantasy team. Very, very smart, astute move, OMARI Parsons. This dude is a favorite from my view for this league to win right now. The way he had drafted and the moves he's making, OMARI's not messing around, y'all. Duppy Conquerors is very much a team that's going to be trying to conquer this fantasy with having LeBron and Giannis on his team. And then he's making these astute pickups. Look out. OMARI is for real. I'm not lying. But good to see Duke made a move. You got Trey Murphy III dropping Jalen Suggs because he got hurt and stuff like that. But there are quite a few Raptors available out there. If you have a team like the Sabourins that do not have a Raptor on your team, well, Otto Porter's on the waiver wire now. Thad Young is there. Kem Birch is there. Jeff Doughton is there. There's quite a few Raptors that are available. If anybody doesn't have a Raptor on their fantasy team, you can go get them. Go get them. Yeah. Logical Slaffin. Denal saying, I have no idea why every other team can find guys that can shoot, but we can't. Laugh out loud. You know, we have guys that can shoot. In some ways, it's the way we play that doesn't really set us up to be effective with shooting and stuff like that. I mean, you could have really good dead-eye guys. They're just money all the time and stuff like that. They're few and far between in this league. It's like, you know, shooting has not been something that has been taught correctly to young players coming into the league at this point. It really is something you have to develop them into. Like, look at Scotty, the way they talked about him and his jump shot coming in. He was athletically just a great prospect, but he wasn't really known as a shooter. So it's something that guys develop over time. And the younger generation's not necessarily got a lot of good shooters. It maybe is very hard commodity to get a lot of. So it's like we've decided to build our team with the 6'9" vision, with the really good multi-faceted athletes that can do everything. And shooting isn't exactly a really strong strength. It's like if you're looking at the NBA 2K23 build for some of the players on this team, the shooting stuff isn't real high, but it's high all around on all other kind of stuff. It is too bad that we don't have more shooters that are just like that. But I think we do on the down low. It's just we're not seeing them emerge in the preseason. I still think Gary and Fred are absolutely fantastic three-point shooters, and they'll do fine for us this year no matter what. I think Scotty and Pascal will show the work that they did this summer more in the regular season than we're seeing right now, that they will be much more capable three-point shooters. And then, you know, like we said, we haven't seen Otto at all yet. Otto and Juancho are going to be very good three-point shooters for us this year. If we have DJ Wilson on the roster for the season, he will be another one of those three kind of tall, capable, good three-point shooters. So they may be there. They're just hidden right now, or they're just not hitting them right now. And that's part of the problem, stuff like that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. with the shooters and who emerges and stuff. Denial. I have confidence they're going to figure it out and get better. It's just we haven't looked good in the preseason. Fun guy saying Koloko is so damn fast. My God, so many plays I saw him get open, but teammates didn't see him. Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember much about Koloko last night because he didn't really stand out to me in any kind of way. Had 6 minutes on the. He only played 6 minutes, which seems like not enough. He didn't score. He missed both the shots he took, and he only had a block. He did turn the ball over twice, so this may be his worst game that he's had. But within everything, we didn't really notice, or he wasn't like so awful that it's like, oh, Koloko is so bad. Nobody's going to be saying that today because he has so much good stuff already, but he did kind of have a bad game last night, Koloko on the down low and stuff like that. Nameless is saying, Monique, I was so excited to see Champagnie last night, and now I feel that way about Porter. Yeah, I was really happy. I said to Sue, I was like, oh my gosh, Champagnie has dressed to play. He's going to be out there and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, good. This is good. We need to see him out there and see what he can do and stuff like that. And maybe not the most impressive showing, but at least he was out there getting in work and active. And hopefully he'll play for the last Boston game, and he'll get even more to build on what little bit he did last night and stuff like that. Denal saying, I don't think they trust him yet, fun guy. He's missing a lot of easy shots. You're talking about Koloko. Yeah. It's got to be like his experience. And also, he was that matchup last night is against some good big men. That's Vucevic and Drummond. Those guys are very experienced, and they're also big, beefy dudes. It could be a massive matchup thing. And that's what I'm saying. We can't count on Koloko just to be our starting center because he can't start against somebody like Vucevic, possibly. Because Vucevic will just eat him alive as far as bumping him off and just shooting over him and scoring. Vucevic did have a good game last night. He was very effective for them. He was hitting threes, and he was also doing a lot of stuff near the basket. 6 for 10, 13 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. So Vucevic was actually, that's the kind of thing. You got to match him up against who the matchup is that night. Well, it's Vucevic and Drummond. Drummond, you think Koloko can handle Drummond right now? No, he can't. That dude is too big and too strong, and he can just brush him off. That's what I'm saying. These really big, skinny guys like Victor and Koloko and Chet Holmgren, they're going to have trouble with very physical, bigger centers like Andre Drummond. And that may be part of the reason why we didn't see Koloko as much last night, and he wasn't as effective. This was really more of a game to play Khem Birch and Precious Achiuwa against these kind of guys and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't think they totally trust him yet either, but that's just getting to know him also and know his spots. We may see him wide open. Like they tried to force a pass to the post. Like Scotty did this. Is one of his turnovers where he tried to force a pass to Pascal with 2 guys and got broken up and stuff like that. We want to do this bully ball and get the ball up over to people, but sometimes even though they look like they're open, they're not totally open, and they should throw the pass to them. So even the points where you thought Koloko was open, he maybe could have gotten the shot. He may not have been actually open. Just by what you got to read as far as where the defender's cheating and maybe shadowing towards him and stuff like that, because they'll just run over and pick it as soon as you try and throw him. Now you can say throw it up high, but the Bulls would kind of do this thing where they hit you in the side and kind of knock you. It's a bit of a foul and stuff like that where you can't actually catch it, even though you have the height advantage like Koloko would. So I don't know. I didn't see those things that you're talking about. Fun guy, or like Denal saying that they didn't trust him and stuff like that. But he did only get 2 shot attempts. Name was saying, can we talk about Champagnie's very appearance? Underwhelming or about as expected, as you say? Well, this is similar to what he was doing last year in the preseason at this time in some ways. In fact, he may have been better last year. I think he had a couple games where he looked really good, like where he got like eight rebounds or something like that within like 10 minutes, stuff like that. So in some ways, this is not progressing like Dalano is showing from last year at this time. Like Delano's definitely leveling up. That's what we want to see with Justin also, that this is how you stay on our team. You have to progress, and you have to hit new levels of excellence and getting better and better over time. And I'm not going to judge him off of this first game. This is his first game back. He was on a minutes restriction. And this game's kind of just, all right, he's back out there. The Boston game, we need to see what he does there. And that may be his only shot to try and make this team and stuff. So not a very good appearance, but also we have to give him credit because it's the first one back and he's just getting his feet in the water. Monique saying, saw Doug Smith on my way out the door. Yeah, we saw Paul Jones yesterday, Four Corners. Sue saw Chris Boucher. Monique saw Chris Boucher. We saw Jamal McGlure at the elevator, and Monique was trying to say hey, but he got in the elevator. And Doug Smith, that's awesome. I love Doug Smith. I have more and more appreciation for Doug Smith as time goes on. Let's see. OMARI saying they probably told Champagnie play or leave. Ooh, yeah. I mean, maybe. I hope he's not one of these guys that was just trying to sit out and not really be hurt and stuff like that. Who knows? He knows he's got a fire under his feet, that he needs to do something right now. It's now or never. It's, he's in big trouble if he doesn't do more right now and stuff like that. So let's see. Very first appearance. I'm not sure the name was saying. Oh, it's yeah. Okay. I thought you meant way he looked, his hair and his appearance. What'd you think of his appearance? Well, let me do a style check real quick. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving from Granny Evelyn, Raptor Freak Evelyn. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Evelyn. I hope you've been surrounded by you and yours, your loved ones, baby Candace and everybody. And I hope your MRI went really well this weekend too. David's saying happy Thanksgiving to you also. Denal saying, as expected, I'd say. He missed most of the Rico runs, all the summer league, and 3 preseason games. This is his first game back. Yeah. He just got to get his foot back on the court and have a little bit of getting back into the groove and stuff like that. Okay, Cool Cat did make it to the game and made it late. Oh, that's too bad. Well, you know what? Maybe we're going to have to do this thing where you guys get my phone number if you are going to come to the building and stuff so we can link, because we had a hard time linking with Bradley. And I wasn't even sure if you were there or not. We'll figure this out as time. I'm sure there'll be other opportunities during the season. Nameless saying, it doesn't seem like Champagnie has added any new elements to his game over the offseason. That's what I'm saying. We need to see progress. We need to see more to contribute. Like, if he's going to be just a rebounder and a three-point shooter and stuff like that, that's great. But we didn't even see any of the three-point shooting. And like I said, he only got 1 rebound. He was in there fighting for them, though. Like, he has some disadvantages in some ways that he overcomes. And that's part of why we like him. Is he's a guy who has a real fight in him and a real dog spirit of like, I'm going to go out and get after it. And we love that attribute about him. But in some ways, it's something he has to overcome also. And do we really want to have to, like, we have guys that don't have to overcome that are fighting for the same spot in the roster? That's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that. Let's see. Nako saying Koloko is going to get all rookie first team. I love that. That's a great prediction, and that's not too crazy. Like, if he really does do things a certain way. Now, it's going to depend on how we use him. If he, because usually rookies that are on the first team got to start, and they're making huge contributions. And I don't know if he's going to get the start, and he may be a bit-time guy. Now, I don't know if he'll make first team, but I'd love to see him at least on the second team. Because that could be very possible. First team may be tough because there are some really strong rookies coming into this class also that got drafted high. Let's see. Koloko is great, OMARI, for sure. Hey, Sabourin Brothers from Evelyn. I like that. Cool Cat saying, didn't know how to find you guys after the game. I got ticks for opener versus Cavs. Yeah, well, the next game I'm going to is Halloween, and it'll be Atlanta. We wanted to go for Halloween night, Adriana and I, and stuff like that. But it's too bad we missed you, Cool Cat. But I know you probably had a good time and stuff like that. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out another time. Name was saying Koloko does big man stuff like a veteran of 10 years already. That back down and jump hook is lights out already. I like it. And I think it is going to be a really, really good weapon that's going to be effective and make more than often than not. It's just he's got to find his feet in the league. He's got to find the rhythm and realize the physicality of the league and the speed and adjust to it. And he'll find this stuff. I really do believe in this too. I think, and he is ahead. Like, you know how we said last year, Scotty's kind of got veteran stuff that he's already doing for a rookie. There's a little bit of what we can say about that with Koloko. I really give a lot of credit to Arizona, his university, and the way that they coached him and how he became the defensive player of the year playing at Arizona is really because of their system and stuff, because he has a really good awareness of how to switch and floor spacing on the defensive end that is advanced for a rookie and stuff like that. And I think Arizona's program is part of why that's that way and stuff like that. He stat-wise, he didn't have a good game, but he still looked good on the floor with limited minutes. Yeah, I'm not going to knock him. It's very similar kind of thing. He just got a taste out there. And like I said, the matchup wasn't very good with the centers that they run on the Bulls side and stuff like that. All right. Oh, jumped ahead. All right. Let me see. I love that there's so much in here, even on a day when we lost. I hate it, but like I said, it wasn't that bad. Could have been a lot worse kind of situation and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Monique saying, very thankful for making so many friendships off this live stream, though, because 1 year in, happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm thankful for that too, Monique. I was telling my parents this weekend, it's like in some ways, my social circle used to be Kensington Market and being around there and seeing all the regulars in the neighborhood and stuff like that. Well, I don't have that anymore. And this has kind of became like one of my main social networks is being on this channel and talking to you guys. It's been a godsend in pandemic days in isolation and stuff like that. So I really do feel grateful about the friendships I'm making here for sure. And they're awesome. It's like obviously we have the same passion for the Raptors, and that's real easy to bond and feel like you're birds of a feather off of that. Like going to the game with Sue was so fun. And seeing Sue, how she cheers and stuff like that, and cheering with her, and just how much she cares at the game. Like I can hear it in her voice and the way she roots the team. And that I'm like, yeah, these are my people. These are my people. This is David and Peter show up, and they're not even coming in. I'm trying to get them tickets through Marco, the scalper, and stuff like that. And they're like, no, we just wanted to come down and hang out with you and just like see who's here and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, you guys are awesome. It's just cool, like having people that like want to hang out because of Raptors and stuff like that. I've never really had close friends that were as into the Raptors as I am, and y'all are. It's like really, it's a crazy level to be into them. And you guys are like me with that, and I feel like you really are my people. More and more I meet you guys and stuff like that. So awesome. Nameless saying, Koloko had 4 blocks in a single quarter the other night, didn't he? Yeah, in the first quarter, in the started in the game against Houston, he had a lot of blocks. Yeah, he did. Cowboy saying, good morning, everybody. Missed you, Bradley. I saw you, but I missed you. It's too bad. It is what it is. I was telling the story at the beginning of the stream. So watch at the beginning. You can find out how I missed you and what was happening and stuff like that. Skater Dylan's here, Boston fan. Cheers, family. I was skateboarding in Times Square and under the Brooklyn Bridge all weekend. How's everyone doing? That's cool, man. So Boston fan was down in NYC, putting the board out there on the street. That's awesome, Dylan. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. It's Canadian Thanksgiving, so it's a long weekend. Everybody's off today. Nobody has to work today here in Canada. We have a Monday off. It's Thanksgiving Monday. Yeah. Good morning to Canadian Cowboy from Isaac Campbell. Good morning, Isaac Campbell. Good to see you. Omari's saying something I really love. Tanking is for Tampa. And even in Tampa, we weren't really tanking. We were trying. We just didn't have a very good team. It's like Fred described this in his interview last night. He said, we had the championship, and then afterwards a fallout, and it was really getting the best available is what he called it. He described it for Tampa year. It's like we just had to get the best available at the time. That's what he's saying about Aaron Baines, basically. And now he says that he feels like the excellence on this team is similar to the roster build for the championship and stuff like that. That it isn't like we have best available for what's going. He could even say that about last year. That like I hate to say it, guys like Yuta and Svi were like the best available. Well, now we reloaded our team with guys that aren't really considered just the best available. These are like the guys, these are good. These were like purposeful people like Otto Porter Jr. and Juancho that were like, yeah, these are the guys we want. And this isn't just the scraping the bottom barrel best available, as Fred put it. So that's a big difference. And that is going to show something, hopefully, with the quality of our bench this year. That statement by Fred in the press conference last night, that we have a team that isn't just the best available like it was in Tampa. Cowboy saying, morning, Isaac. Yeah, I was wearing an old DeRozan jersey. It's the only Raptors merch I got. I need to get more. Yeah, it was cool. I was wondering if that was a Bulls jersey or a Spurs jersey, but it was a Raptors black DeRozan jersey. It was pretty cool. And I thought I saw you, Bradley. It's like, because I met you and I seen what your face looks like. I was like, is that Bradley? I even said that to Adriana when I was standing there, but I didn't shout out. And I did see your son with you. He looked like you. And I was like, that looks like it could be him. I wonder if that's his brother. I thought that might have been your brother. I didn't know it was your son and stuff like that. But I almost yelled out to you. But I was like, I don't want to look like a fool too, because it's like there's a lot of strangers. And the chance that that is not Bradley is probably higher than it being Bradley, but it was Bradley. So I should have gone on my instinct and yelled out to him. Oh, it's too bad. It is what it is. DJ's here. Good to see DJ. I appreciate your comments in the comment section all the time. Hey, all. Some say that when you build your strength up significantly, it can affect your shooting for a long time. I don't know who all hit the weights hard this summer, so patience is necessary. Yeah, this subject's been coming up more and more recently. It's the first time somebody brought this up. I thought they were joking, but it does make sense. Chev's been saying this on his channel, and Scotty definitely he put on 10 pounds of extra muscle, and he's got to adjust to his new body as far as like his shooting and how it's going to go and stuff like that. And he's not the only one. We can see Gary Trent looks a lot more muscular right now. Delano, there's quite a few of them. They're looking quite muscular. I think DJ's right. He's onto something here. So let's just see how it develops over time and see if it does take a little bit for them to adjust to a new, stronger body. I mean, OG too. There may be times in OG's career over the years where he's gotten a little bit more pumped up, and then he struggled with his shot for a little bit just because he's adjusting to his new muscles. And yeah, okay, we'll start thinking about this, and it makes sense. And this does make a lot of sense, and something we may have overlooked in this preseason about why they may be struggling with their shooting a little bit. Cool Cat saying Koloko altered a lot of Vucevic shots. I was happy to see that. I like that Scotty is paired up with OG. Will help him on and off the court. Delano's FIBA experience is huge. He says he sees more space now. Yeah, Delano's awesome. Like he said in his interview after the game last night, that in Brazil, when he was playing at America, they foul like crazy and they don't call it. And he said he had to get really strong with his handles because they're just like physically just coming and hitting and all this stuff. And you're not getting anything. So he he called it like he got tempered in the flame because of that hard, tough defense of way that they can play in South America at America. So that is kind of an interesting thing that helped him in some ways for how he's playing right now too, is saying that they were fouling a lot and playing dirty and he had to play through it. So you had to really get strong with your handles is what he was saying, stuff like that. So yeah, the FIBA experience has been so good for him and it's really showing. Like he really is. If we're looking at all the Raptors players as being stocks on the stock market, his stock is going, and it's not just on our team. The whole league is waking up and seeing Dalano Banton and realizing, wow, this kid is special. And he's somewhat of a unique talent in some ways, in different things and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see. Cowboys saying, I couldn't believe how big Harper Jr. was. He's like an athletic fridge. He is. He is a chunk. He is a big, like, physical weight that can be thrown around. We need to see it be used effectively on the NBA level, though. We have not seen him really blossom in any kind of way yet. But we got to give him time. He's going to, I bet you a lot of his work and growth will happen on the 905 level. And hopefully it'll come up and translate on the main roster at different points. Isaac's saying, I only have a Serge Ibaka jersey. Maybe we all need Banton jerseys now. Yeah, go get Banton jerseys. I don't know. I have a few jerseys, but like the ones behind me. But yeah, I haven't bought any new ones in a long time, other than the one that Adriana got me, Scotty Barnes one just this summer for my birthday. She got me a Scotty Barnes jersey, which is really nice. So that's my newest jersey. I got that one. I didn't wear it yesterday. Maybe I should have. Nameless saying Doughton is amazing. This kid is a lock. Had a rough first game, I thought, but after that, he's been money. He's way more consistent in a lot of ways than any of those other end of the bench guys. Like he had one dud game, and that was really in the Houston game. Every other game so far this preseason, he has looked sharp and very effective. And last night was one of them. Like his very little bit of time on the court, and he scored 6 points. And he was really, really one of the only few guys at the end of the game doing good things. Those steals were fantastic and really effective at scoring. Like that one move he made where he finished with guys around him was really good. Like there was a move I turned to Sue that Delano made. Delano had like a Euro step that had a little bit of extra on it. It was like a double Euro step. I don't know what to call it. So I called it the Eurasia step. It's like a Euro step. Well, let's put two continents on this one because he did 2 Euro steps on the move and said, well, Eurasia step. Because it's both Europe and Asia. Eurasia step is what I'm seeing out there. It's not just a Euro step with Delano at that point. He had like, and then that dunk he had in the second half. Ooh, nasty highlight. Like he's not only playing effective and looking nice, he's getting some really cool highlights too with that crazy double Euro step and that really nice attack the rim dunk in the second half by Dalano. I love it so much. So good. So good. Leslie's saying, I like the idea of a Banton jersey. Represent. Yeah. Banton is representing our city so well and showing that, like, look, he cares about being a good Toronto Raptor because this is his team from when he was little. And he watched the Raptors play Chris Bosh and different people. And he's like, this is my team. And I'm playing for them now. So I better get better and better. And that's what he's doing. I love it. Cool Cat saying DJ Wilson will make the cut. I think his free throws is golden. Josh Jackson, Gabe Brown need 905 experience. Yeah, Gabe Brown probably for sure. Josh Jackson, I'd love to see you stick around and be on our 905 this year, even if we cut you. And yeah, DJ's been solid as far as a three-point shooter, a free throw shooter, a rebounder. He's shown much better skills on the defensive end that he hasn't really had for a lot of his career. He's really committing to being a better defensive player this summer, and we are noticing it, DJ Wilson. So you are still my front runner overall because you have been the consistent and different kind of things that we need. As far as we're complaining about getting three-pointers, better three-point shooting, DJ Wilson's the guy to keep then, because he's the most consistent three-point shooter of these guys trying to make the team, in my opinion. Just from the way he shoots it, it goes in and stuff like that. It looks very much like OG's set shot, and really fundamentally good and stuff like that. Fun guy saying, but Champagnie looked really bad. Was leaving guys open and being out of place like crazy. Yeah, there was some people scoring right around him, and he did look bad. Like he'd be cheating off him a little bit and run back, and then boom, the guy's hitting a three in the corner in his face. And he's not there. Yeah, I didn't want to come down on him because it's been so hard. And like I said, I wanted to give him a pass. He showed up. He made it. I'm going to take that as far as with Justin at this point. But like we said, Friday, that's the last day for you to try and do this in the preseason before we get started. So Justin, yeah, right at the very end, and hopefully it's not too little too late. We'll have to see. In some ways, I'm rooting for him in some ways, just because he is the vibes on the team in some ways, and he has some good connections on that team with those guys. But do we care about warm, fuzzy feelings or about winning? That's what I care about is the second thing. Winning. Yeah. Cool Cat saying Justin needs 905. He missed summer and preseason development. Otto more needed for deep playoff run. Load manage him. Yeah. And Fred's getting load managed right now, too. Obviously, he didn't play at Houston, and he doesn't care right now. He said it after the game. I don't give a shit about winning any of these preseason games. He kind of cared about Boston, I think. But otherwise, he's like, Utah, I didn't care about that game. I didn't care about Houston, and I didn't care about this game either. Fred's really not, fully going hard right now. He's healthy. We're seeing healthy moves by him out on the court, but he's not going all out right now. He really isn't. He is doing what he calls light work right now because he knows it's a long, long season. And also these guys, this is something that they said at the beginning of the telecast last night, Alvin and Matt, that this is very important that nobody gets hurt in the beginning of the preseason. So they're not going all out, partly to avoid injury. So they're on a different mode of cruise control than actual competitive, all out NBA. We're playing to win kind of the way we play. And we have to remember this as Raptor fans with these results in these preseason games. All right, let's see. Monique is saying, yes, I was happy to see Champagnie. By the way, back in the day, I was always a homebody person because I didn't want people to see me and my disability. Now I'm a community champ person. Go Raptors, go Monique Lawrence, community champion. Yes, this is so true. I'm a homebody person too. But yeah, this is the thing. We want to connect. The pandemic made it hard. People are away from each other and stuff. We got to come back together and see each other and hang out and stuff. I was so happy to see you, Monique. And I'm glad that we got to link. Because I know last year we tried so many times and it was just not, you're all over the place. Bradley told me he saw you 4 times last night at the game. We were walking around, looking around for us, and he kept seeing you. I hope you guys said hello to each other and stuff like that. You remember Bradley from the meet and greet the other day for sure. Evelyn's saying, sorry, Lex and Adriana, wasn't able to come due to your knee. Oh, I was worried about that, Evelyn. I thought that may have been why. That you had your MRI and that you just didn't feel like coming because you physically weren't feeling well. I hope you feel better as soon as possible, Evelyn. And that is, I kind of was figuring that something like this with you in particular, just because of what you were saying this weekend and stuff like that. Evelyn saying, we have so much respect and believe in you, Monique. That's right. Love and hugs. Adriana was so happy to see you again last night. And I know Sue was really happy to meet you and stuff like that. So really cool, Monique. Our family is expanding and growing, and it is a real family. It is for real. Isaac saying, Monique, you have the best takes. That's the thing. I love that you guys are finding her on Facebook and enjoying stuff that I've been enjoying for years and years and years. I've been reading Monique's stuff on Facebook for like 6-7 years now, longer than that, maybe 10 years now and stuff. And she's always had good stuff on there. I always appreciate what she's saying. Cowboy saying, I yelled out Raptors Freak too. See if you could hear me. Awesome. So we were doing it at different points in different places of the building. That's awesome. Scotty did look like he was looking around at one point when I yelled it. And then he was waving. He was waving at one point, just indiscriminately at somebody near him in the crowd. He's like waving, hi, hi. I don't know. Maybe he heard me at one point yell Tom Duke's name, because I was yelling Tom Duke's name in Toronto, and also Raptor Freak. I was yelling Raptor Freak. People around me are looking at me like I was crazy and stuff like that. But I had to be more quiet in the second half because I didn't want to have any heat magnet or anything, because we weren't sitting where we're supposed to. So I was being a little more quiet the closer I was and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Logical saying, Mo, you're a great person. That's all that matters to me. That's awesome. Yeah, y'all support Monique and all of her endeavors and what she's doing with her stuff and writing and different things she's doing around the Raptors with whether it's like they do spots with her or whatever she's doing. Support her and check out what she's doing. It's always interesting. And like I said, this year I'm going to really lean on Monique to help me with the 905 material, because I pay attention. I watch the games, but she really has another level of knowledge with that level of G League and stuff like that. DJ saying Ron Harper was clutch shooter in college. I'm hoping he shines a bit this year. Yeah, I want that to translate. I want that to carry over from his days at Rutgers. Some of these really amazing clutch shots and things that he was doing. He has it in him. It's just we want to see when he gets the opportunity to show it to us. And it may be at the 905 level first, and then hopefully as the years go by or this year goes by, he gets to show it on the main roster as well. Leslie Hart saying, we have set up our rookies to be successful. Koloko shouldn't start yet. Yeah. He may be in trouble failing and hurting his, how he feels about himself, his confidence. If he starts too soon and he gets beat around too much, we have to protect rookies from losing confidence in some ways, as far as like you want to put them in situations to succeed. And you don't want to put Koloko in a situation where he'll look bad or maybe start doubting himself just because it's a situation where he wasn't going to win either way. So this really is part of what the coaching is. It's like, we can't play Koloko right now because Drummond's out there, is that kind of thing, some ways and stuff like that. Because I don't know if he's going to be able to play against big guys like Jokic this year or Embiid. He may be able to do Embiid pretty good, and there may be some sort of Cameroonian, like, I want to play against Embiid. But it may be tough in some ways. I want to see how he takes physicality from a player like Joel Embiid and see how he deals with it. Stuff like that. Cowboy saying, I seen Mo 3 times. She was everywhere. That's right. Monique is all over that building when she's down there. DJ saying he hasn't shown anything so far. You're talking about Ron Harper. Yeah. I've been disappointed in Ron Harper so far. But I want to give him a chance. He deserves a whole year of a chance on the 905 on his two-way. And then we'll see how it goes after that. Logical saying, my sister has a physical disability, and I swear she's the nicest person I've ever met. Yeah, people get a real perspective in life that's very different than other people when they have to deal with hardships and things that they have to overcome that's different than other people. And you know what? They are a lot more grounded and wise sometimes if they have obstacles that they daily have to overcome and stuff like that. I just love Monique. Just rolls up and says hi to everybody. And I'm like, oh, Monique, what's up? And it's like, I just love that. It's like just a friend just showed up and say, hey, good to see you and stuff like that. It was really good to see you, Monique. Let's see. Appreciate you, Bradley. Yeah. I hope you guys did actually talk. If you did go up to her and talk to her a little bit and stuff like that, I'm sure. Because I don't know, you remember Bradley from the meet and greet, of course. Monique would remember Bradley. Yeah, okay, so you guys did link up. That's really good. Okay, hang on. Joseph Starks is here. Good to see Joseph Starks. Good morning, Raptor Freak Joseph Starks. All right, guys. I've taken my time to really reflect. The problem is our defensive dynamics with our starting five. Trent and Fred are making us work extra hard on defense. There, I said it. Okay, you're saying because they're cheating too much and trying to go for the steal, and then they get beat. And then we have to do that switch around, and guys are leaving their guys, and then they're coming and cascading from guy to guy to try and catch up. And the offense is kind of beating that catch up, and somebody's getting an open shot. So is it because of that, Joseph? Because we're trying to get the steal and we're gambling, and then our defense is behind trying to catch up afterwards. I think that may be kind of what I'm seeing, at least. That's been something that we've had a problem with the Fred and Gary kind of cheating to get steals and trying like getting passing lanes. Like we saw Dalano at times in preseason where he goes for a steal and he gets past the guy, and then his guy's going past him, and then the rest of the guys have to clean it up defensively because Delano's catching up. He's behind them. Yeah, that was actually something they said, that like they're not doing a good job of keeping the ball in between them and the basket. Like part of their defense being effective is really keeping themselves in between them and the basket, and that's not happening. Defenders are getting beat, and the ball's going by them, and then they're trying to coming back, and that's not what Nick Nurse wants. So I think you're right on this, but this is something they'll hopefully adjust and get better and do better at and stuff like that. Also, he's saying offensively, they are too much the same player. Funny, we are a long team supposedly, but out of our starting five is otherwise. We need to reshuffle our starters, in my opinion. Ooh, I mean, I'm not totally going to disagree with this and stuff. There may be we need to do something fresh with the starting lineup. I kind of like him to switch it around on a daily basis, depending on who we're playing. Like, if we do play Embiid, I want to play Kem Birch. If we're playing a team that we can get away with playing small ball, maybe we do something crazy and play Delano out there with Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet just to reinvigorate things right from the start or something. I don't know. I don't know the answers, but I know Nick's probably going to be searching for them and stuff like that. But I think that's an interesting comment of that they are too much the same player. I guess we could say that in some ways about Pascal, OG, and Scotty and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe. Logical saying real life Raptors friends are hard to find. Not gonna lie, that's true. Actually, that is true. Over the years, you'll have a friend that's into the Raptors, but they may be more into the Lakers also, or they're a LeBron fan also, or they're kind of a half-ass Raptor fan. Like, yeah, I like the Raptors, but you'll hear them dissing them all at the same time. Yeah, it's true. It is very true. Like, especially in Florida, I had no Raptors friends in Florida when I was there in the '90s. And then, like, even when I worked at the Air Canada Center, everybody was all about the Leafs. Matt Sundin time, Curtis Joseph, Ty Domi, and they were all about the Leafs. I was like one of the few like Raptors first people working in the building. Like, I only cared about the Raptors. I could give a shit about the Leafs at that time. And I was rooting for them, and everybody didn't care about the Raptors. They were afterthought. They were secondary, even with Vince Carter on the team. They were treated like that in the building. So it was even at work, although some of my friends that I met there, like Thuzy, I saw Thuzy last night with his kid and his wife. So awesome to see him. He worked there way long time ago. He has become more of a Raptors fan, but he's also a big Leafs fan too. And then like, people like Sheldon and Ron, like I mentioned earlier, Ron Coburn from St. Vincent, they were really big time Raptor fans, and I'm still good friends with them to the day. And it's so fun, like 20 years later, after all the time we worked together at that building, having a championship and seeing what's happened with the team since and seeing the success. And they know how much it's rewarding to me because they were there 20 years ago when I was the weird purple guy running around talking about how badass the Raptors were, where everybody else was wearing blue and talking about the Leafs. And I really, I was that dude in the building. Like, oh, here comes that Raptors dude that works here. It's in their own building. I was the only dude who was like really, really diehard Raptors that worked there and stuff. It was a weird time. It was really weird. Cowboys saying, thanks, Mo. It was nice to see you again. Awesome. All right. So you guys did stop and visit a bit. That's awesome. Fred confirmed my video well. Awesome. All right. Well, I got to watch it. I'm going to watch it today. I was so busy this weekend. I haven't had a chance, but I'm going to check up on your video today, Logical. I'll see it. Kareem saying, I feel like OG, Anunoby, and Precious Achua need a little bit more direction on the court. Seems like nobody knows or can read their next move, which at times ruins the continuity on the floor. Yeah. They're a little bit of wild, a little loose, as Precious especially. OG's a little bit more refined than he used to be. Um, do you know the one thing I really like about yesterday was the two-man game that was happening with Scotty and Pascal on the one side. There was a little bit of give and go going on early in the game that was really fruitful. It didn't happen to success every single time, which is too bad, but at least they were doing it. That's what I'm saying. That is the beginning of getting easier shots on our offense. Is really playing off each other. Y'all just use each other to get more open. There are ways to do this. Y'all know how to do this. Come on, do it more. It's less one-on-one isolation trying to beat people by yourself. That is not working. Like even Scotty at one point tried to go at a double team. The two guys hanging on him. He's trying to go up. Well, there's obviously somebody who's open somewhere. And this is part of what he'll get better at as the career goes on. He'll get more savvy to read when the double's coming and when to beat it and get that pass to the person who's open on the outside. Because he tried to go right at a double team and he had guys hanging on his shoulders and he didn't make it and stuff like that. So it's that kind of stuff, being perceptive and getting the ball away from the double team when it comes at him. He needs to look at that more and stuff like that. But yeah, the reading of that kind of situation needs to be more effective. Pascal got better at it over and over time because he would try and beat the double team by himself all the time. But now he's more likely to pass out of the double team in some ways. And that's really something that's happened more in the last couple of years. But the years before, he tried and force it. So I like this comment by Kareem, and I think he's right that they need to read off of each other better and different things like where they're moving off the ball and just like use each other better off the ball or looking for the pass and stuff like that. Monique saying Christian Siakam was at the game last night, so obviously shout out my name before the game. He's getting ready for 905 season, of course. Awesome. Awesome. So you saw Christian, maybe you got to chat with him a little bit. Awesome. All respect and love to the Siakam family and Christian's new endeavor as a 905 coach. It's going to be cool. Yeah, Mo with the inside info. This is normal. That's part of the reason why she's all over the place. She's out there picking up information and wheeling and dealing and hobnobbing with all the different bigwigs down at the Scotiabank Arena and getting her little information, talking to people like Christian Siakam. I see. Joseph Stark saying the defensive and offensive output of Trent and Precious, which is better valuable to our team? Precious is arguably a better driver finisher, three-pointer, but what does Trent do better? Wow, this is a really good question in some ways. I want to say that they're both like Precious may end up being the better defender over their career in the long run, but right now, in some ways, Gary is a better defender than him, but they're not bad, not that far off. So I'd say they're pretty much an equal as far as the defensive end. Now, on the offensive end, Precious, you know what? They do some similar stuff. They're both be able to create their own offense by themselves as far as like just the burst of Precious and the sidestepping of Gary. I don't know. Like you're really what you're getting at is who should start between them and who should come out of the starting lineup. This is what Joseph's saying here. Is like who would you take out of the starting lineup between who's giving us more or put in there? Because like you want to put Precious in there instead of Gary. I get it. And a lot of people have been echoing this and saying this all summer. And I've been trying to defend Gary and say, no, he hasn't lost his starting spot. Why should he lose it? And in fact, last night, he was my second star of the game. He shot really well last night. He was 6 for 8. And, he had 17 points. And I thought Gary looked really good. And Precious didn't look good last night. He had a bad game last night. So I don't know. This is a game to game kind of thing. I guess I still start Gary just because this is so tough. And this is what Nick's going through right now, obviously. It's tough. Name was saying they seem to be making a conscious effort to be involving OG more. And hopefully he starts making some of these shots soon. Yeah, they're just a little off and stuff like that. OG is weird because last preseason, OG was dead eye. He hit everything last preseason. It was like, oh my gosh, OG is really on it going into this season. This really looks good. And he did look really good most of the season, like Deadeye. This season, he's not looking like that so far. But let's give him time. He may be very much like Fred, and his thinking is like, this is preseason. I don't give a shit. I've been a vet now for a couple of years, and I know that these games don't mean anything. And that may be part of what the issue is right now with him, too. Evelyn saying, thanks for your concern, Lex. Unfortunately, my left didn't give me the chance Your leg didn't give you a chance to go to the game last night. By the way, I think we should buy Raptor tickets at the same time. Thoughts? That may be a good solution if we're going to pick, like maybe we'll pick a game and we'll all go together as a collective and try and get a block. Yeah. Or maybe, you know what? Why don't we even just try and get a box? Like if we get like 10 or 12 of us and we can afford to put down on a skybox and we could just have a box, all of us hanging out in it. That we could look into that also because those are very available. And if we are going as a big group, maybe we need to get a box. That would be very fun. And then we can be really loud and maybe even put up a sign that says Raptor Freaks and stuff like that and put it up there and get crazy. This may be the way to do it. I'll have to look in to see how much they are per game. And then maybe we can make it feasible with like a bunch of us. That would be fun. I've sat in the box before there. And they're pretty fun place to be and stuff like that. That's an interesting idea. You just made me think of there. So very good idea, Evelyn. And how do you like the box idea? Leslie's saying, you're very inspiring, Superfan Mo. Keep getting out there. That's right. Monique, we love you, and we are so happy to see you last night. Mo is killing it out there. Yeah. Logical saying, it's harder to catch 905 games on TV, not going to lie. This is true. This is part of the reason why I had a hard time following them last year. And also sometimes they're playing at the same time as the Raptors. And I'm going to watch the main squad just because and stuff like that. If I had 2 TVs set up in the living room like I used to, maybe I put them on different TVs. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I missed some of the games last year. They were playing the same time. Nameless saying, I'll be honest, I see absolutely nothing special about Harper Jr. and I think he'll be gone. I said it. I can't disagree with that because I can get behind what you're saying. I have not seen anything special from him either. And I hate to say that because he hasn't even really started, but we got to give him a chance and stuff like that. And David's agreeing with that. Let's see. Monique's saying, really? She's like, she was positive. She wants to believe in him. But being real, he hasn't done anything yet in any of the levels. Summer League, he did not look good at Summer League. And he's not looking good in preseason so far in certain ways. But we got to give him a chance. We'll give him a chance and we'll see where he is at a certain place. So. Let's see. Yeah, Mo, to me, he just always looks 2 steps behind. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly that. He hasn't translated production or doing anything at any kind of level on that side yet. So, all right. Guardian Transit's here. Good to see Guardian Transit. With all of our long guys, we sure have issues stopping the 3. This is an issue that needs to be addressed this year for sure. For sure. Yeah, we have a hard time like getting. Sometimes it's like it means Nick just needs to remind them. You guys aren't getting to the 3-point shooters enough quick because they are getting their shot off too easy and stuff like that. I think that's been a problem with the Raptors for years now, that we lay off the 3-point shooters and they burn us too much. And maybe part of the defensive strategy, we get more committed to come and meeting them out there, especially guys that are dead eyes, that are absolutely shooting the lights out. Got to stick to them and can't leave them open on the 3 ever. And I think this is true. This has been a weakness for our team over the years. And we can always do better at that in different games and stuff like that. It seems like that. Respect, logical Raptors fanatic. Monique saying, oh, by the way, they were selling 905 tickets, or should I say promoting it, getting the word out. That's good. I'm looking forward to going to a 905 game with Greg in November. I'm supposed to be going there and sitting at the table with Greg and his wife and Adriana, and we're going to watch a 905 game. I've never been to a 905 game, and it'll be very fun to go and be there with Greg, who goes all the time and stuff like that. It's kind of like Sue came to the game last night and went with me. She learned a bunch of secrets about the Air Canada Center last night, being there with me, stuff that I know from different things about working there and going to the games over the years. So she got some interesting little secret passages and kind of like ways to get into the game and or do different things around the arena. Sue got a little bit of a primer on that. So you go to the game with me, I'll teach you that stuff too. It's hard for me to teach it through here and not be on site and show you the physical places and stuff like that. But yeah, it was fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to going 905. Logical saying, I dropped the plug for 9:30 chatting with Raptor fans. I hope it gets you more subs, even though most of the people are probably already sub, but every person matters. For sure. Anything works. Like I'm plugging you whenever you're in here and we're talking and stuff like that. I'll plug you other times too if you're not there at times. It all helps and stuff like that. It's all good, even though we may share some of the same audience already and stuff like that. I totally appreciate that, Logical. And like I said, I will always say, y'all go follow Logical Raptors Fanatic. He has a great channel, very well produced, very well researched content. It's always very intriguing and interesting. I'm looking forward to watching your thing today. Leslie's saying, I remember my first Raptor game was in the SkyDome, Rogers Center. My best friend and I stood outside. Yeah, it's weird going to a game there. I went to a game in the very first season of the Raptors against the Detroit Pistons at the SkyDome, and it was so weird. So weird. It was like in December of 95. I went to that game. That was my first Raptor game ever. And it did not fit basketball at all. It was a bad environment. And I'm so glad we built the arena that we're in now and we play in there because it fits so much better. And it's a big reason why we have the best home court advantage in the NBA. If we were still playing in the dome, we have no home court advantage there. It was horrible for basketball. Absolutely horrible. Big vacuous space above the whole court and stuff. Paul B's here. Good to see Raptor Freak Paul B. Another game, another final 5 minutes that the third unit got to fight for spots. Great experience. It's all learning in the preseason. That's right. That's the right perspective. And I'm glad that we're not having the same thing as like, Friday we lose to Houston. We ruined our perfect record in the preseason. Nobody's freaking out about this game as much as they did with Houston because it's just like, who cares? And part of it is helpful that it was Demar. We're all right with you beating us, okay, Demar? We're okay with him beating us. All right, let's see. Logical saying I might be moving to that area and we'll be going 905 games if that's the case. Awesome. You moved to Mississauga. Start going to 905 for sure. Because you can get tickets there cheap and go to those games and get to see a lot of Raptors that are on the team. You'll get to see Dalano. Dalano probably played 905 a bit this year still. He's only in his second year. So we'll have to see. Isaac Campbell, 905 update would be cool, like a ref report. I like the crossover between teams, but this year is all about bench mob, and 905 is an important part of winning culture. Yeah, I agree with Isaac Campbell on this one. Yeah, we'll expand our coverage of the 905 this year, especially if Monique is helping me. And Greg, too. Greg might jump in here and give us good. He's an expert on 905 also, just because of how much he goes and stuff like that. So, yeah, Greg Hubbard, Gubstown Clink, he's another one. I should promote his channel, too. Y'all watch the Gubstown Clink YouTube channel also. Great Raptors channel. Blackhawk saying, I was actually happy with what I was seeing. They look better. Felt like Delano show. Felt like the Delano show for the Rooks. Better evaluation of who to keep on the bench. Still some things to clean up for Scotty and OG. Yeah. Yeah, and salute to you, Blackhawk 2K from Logical. Yeah, I think that we're all kind of feeling positive about the game last night, even though it was a loss, even though in some ways it didn't look good. We looked really good for I would say 3/4 of the game. We looked pretty good. It was really at the end, they just kind of ran away with us and stuff like that. And we didn't care at that point, obviously. All right, let me see what else you guys are saying here. Isaac saying, but also don't mess with perfection. Your show is rocking. Thanks, Isaac. I don't know if it's perfect, but we'll continue to try and make it as good as it can be. Monique saying, so far my schedule is Cavs, Hawks, and more. Okay, so you'll be there opening night, and you'll also be there Halloween too. So we'll see you on Halloween. I'm not going to go to the open game. I should maybe, but I want to do like maybe one game a month. This is kind of where I'm at with things. Logical saying, Mo, I would definitely check with you first on tickets. Okay, cool. Leslie saying, when did you guys experience your first Raptors game? Yeah, I was just saying, Leslie, I went and it was the Pistons versus the Raptors. It was like December of 1995 at the SkyDome. Joe Dumars and Grant Hill and Lindsey Hunter were on that Pistons team. And we had, of course, Damon Stoudemire, Walt Williams, all those early Raptors were on that team, like Oliver Miller and stuff like that. Oh, it was bad. It was a bad time. And we lost the game that I was at. But yeah, it was my first Raptors game. And I wasn't sitting that far from the court, actually. I had pretty good seats for that game. Click saying, don't overreact to that fourth quarter, guys. Those players who will be in the G League will be cut or at the end of the bench. Also, I'm disappointed in Justin. No one is your son. Delano has passed you. I know. There's no way anybody is his son at this point. I mean, maybe you can say it to Ron Harper, but that's just mean at this point. Come on, don't say it to Ron Harper. I don't think you can say it to Gabe Brown. Even Gabe Brown, he's a rookie coming in. You should not be saying it to Christian Koloko. I'm sorry. because Koloko is not your son. Stuff like that. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep going. Blackhawks saying 905 games are all right. Building is smaller and parking is great. Hey, I like to hear those things. I'm sure it's a lot cheaper. Omari's saying, sorry for the self-promotion, but if you're looking to move logical Raptors fanatic, hit me up. He's in real estate. Look, this is all the kind of networking and things like that. You know, I'm promoting Brothers Tada here. I will promote you, Omari. I'll do shameless plugs for you guys. Listen, if y'all are interested in any kind of a move or real estate, you're interested in coming to the 905 area, maybe even the 416, talk to Omari Parsons. He's got you. He will come and help you out with finding the right fit and finding the right place to live. So logical Raptors fanatic, maybe you need to talk to Mr. Parsons here, because I think he might be able to help you out with a nice new place to live. And maybe you already figured it out, but this is good information to know, y'all, that we have this occupation in our Raptor Free group as far as somebody who has these kind of connections and knowledge and stuff like that. Thank you, Omari. Don't be ashamed to do this, y'all. I love hearing about what you guys do and how we can help connect each other for things to help with our businesses and what we do. So there's nothing wrong with what you're saying here, Omari. Shameless plug, not shameless at all. Encouraged. You guys are cool. You are here and you're putting in the time. I will help you guys out. And if this is part of the connecting, it's not just as friends, it's also, hey, could be very fruitful kind of things that come from us meeting up and stuff, because there's like, oh, wow, Omari helped me find my house and I love it. I'm so happy I live here. Thank you. You know, I'm all about this kind of stuff. Really am, bringing people together and making things work better and stuff like that. So yeah, I love that you stepped up and said that, honestly. All right, let's see. Amen. Guardian Transit saying, my cousin runs a private box. I'll talk to her. See, this is what we're talking about. Holy cow. Transit could probably find out the deets on how much it would cost for us to get a box at the game. I like this idea because it means we can come and go and kind of just know where we got to go. And there's none of this running down the aisles and getting like 10 of us in a row sitting all and getting up and coming, you know, how the rows and aisles and people coming to go get concessions and stuff like that. We can just have our own box and hang out in it and like be crazy and yell and just be together. It's kind of a little party room just for us. I really want you. Yeah, Guardian, see what's up and find out the deets and let us know in the chat one day. And I'll look into this. And if we get enough of us, and it's a good price, think about that. It may even be not a bad price considering what you would get going to the game. As far as sitting up above, you'd be maybe in the mid-level. Hopefully that's better for David as far as being able to see the court. And boom, you know, that sounds like a badass idea. It sounds like the perfect fit. So hopefully your cousin can tell you the right news and a good price. Logical saying, I went to a SkyDome game. It was in the fake stands. It felt weird. So you were sitting on the bleachers on the other side. Yeah, I never sat on those bleachers. That is weird. The bleachers over in the middle of the field. So weird, I'll bet. So weird. Happy Thanksgiving from Callie. Good to see Raptor Freak Callie. She's saying, I didn't get stressed about game at all because the lineups were so wonky. As far as I'm concerned, our three-point shooting is killing us. Yeah. Yeah, but it could be so much better. We know that it's going to get better. I mean, it is bad. Like shooting, 21% for three is not good enough. We got to shoot between 35 to 40% at least. And that shooting percentage has been the same all preseason. We have not had the three-pointer. Well, we're 2-2 in the preseason. That's amazing considering we have not made any threes the whole preseason. This is the thing. We get Friday, Boston, and Montreal. We get a chance to have a winning record in preseason. So this game is kind of important in some ways. Plus, we do want to really beat Boston. Division rival. Beat them twice in preseason. I'll take, like we were saying, Sue and I were saying last night, we're going to lose to Houston and Chicago in the preseason, but we beat Boston, both the games we play them in the preseason. I will take that trade every day. I will take that trade every day. Okay, yeah, we'll lose to Jalen Green. Scotty loves you, Jalen Green. Here's a little present. Okay, we'll lose to Demar. Yeah, Demar, we love you. We miss you. Here's a little present. Boston, you ain't getting shit from us, though. That's what I want to see. Like, if we're 3-2 on Friday night, at the end of the night, I'll be very happy. I want to beat Boston in Montreal. And I know those Montreal fans want to see that happen too. Although it may be weird to see what percentage of the fans in the building are Boston fans for that game in Montreal. Ooh, maybe not too many, hopefully. But I think Callie's right. Three-point shooting is going to improve, and this will be a big thing that will help us. But we're still 500. Logical saying Omari Parsons for sure. I'm looking to rent at the moment, but at some point, look at somewhere. Oh, he does rentals. Okay, so he can help you. Interesting. Is your email on your channel? All right, we're good. We're getting this linkage here. It's mainly for my mother. I'm deciding if I'm going to move out there too. Okay. Yeah, Omari. Hey, listen, you guys are all amazing. I appreciate y'all. And seriously, your team is looking. That's so smart to get Banton. Oh my gosh. Leslie saying, I like the box idea. It would be great to meet you guys in person. Yeah, I like it too. We get it at a good, like, fair price. And like, I don't know how much they are though. They can be crazy, like $2,000. But then you got to think, okay, how many of this would be? Maybe it's only like $1,000. I don't know. I don't know how much they are. We'll have to see. Let's see. Leslie. Okay. Monique saying, few more days till Raptors in Montreal. Yeah. So this week we're on the off-season schedule once again. Tomorrow we'll do Raptors Freak Classic Jurassic Trivia, obviously, because it's Tuesday. Wednesday's a whatever Wednesday. And Thursday will be our last think tank, really, before the season starts. We're going to do a season expectations think tank on Thursday, and then Friday preview, a reaction on Saturday. So that's kind of our schedule for this week. Trivia, whatever Wednesday, I'll try and make up something interesting. And then the Thursday think tank back just for this week and stuff like that. So let's see. No doubt at the game. Yeah, we're gonna meet up and we'll get that box for sure. Banton with the win. Spent an hour with Ian last night. Wow. Monique was hobnobbing with a politician. She was a TV personality on CTV, I think, or one of the channels here in Toronto, and she has migrated her profession into politics, and she's like a councilwoman or something like that now. Very much hobnobbing with the big names around Toronto right now is Monique Lawrence. That is so cool that you were with Marcy Ian last night. Let's see. Do you guys have shirts? Do we have shirts yet, Race Mode? Not yet. We're going to figure it out. I know that Stevie Roots has actually been trying to design a logo for me for a shirt or something like that. He doesn't watch the channel, so he doesn't really understand what we're all about. So I'm trying to get him to get something together or something like that, but we'll see. Alistair saying, who do you think should we get cut at this point? I'm still kind of at the same place I was at the beginning of preseason. I want to cut Gabe Brown, Josh Jackson, and Justin Champagnie and keep DJ Wilson. That is where I'm at still. And that hasn't really changed. I mean, I don't have any reason to change it right now. Gabe's on a path to go to the 905, and that's perfectly good. There's no problem with that. Josh Jackson has been inconsistent. He's had one really super good game. Otherwise, he's been kind of not that good the other games. And then Justin, like we said, he showed up last night finally, and he's just done too little, maybe too late and stuff like that. But DJ Wilson is definitely the most productive and the most useful of those guys in my eyes right now. And that's why I would answer that, Alistair, that way. Mo is a one-person force for sure. Oh, wow. It's 4,500 to 1,200 for a box seats. Holy crap. So it's like to get it down to 100 each, we have to have 45 of us. What is the occupancy in there too? Can you see that? What is the occupancy on one of those? Like, how many people can you fit in there? Because I'd want to fit as many as we could to make the price go down. But that is crazy. That is crazy high. Wow. Okay. Maybe this isn't feasible. Maybe we'll have to figure something out. Maybe we can get a box way up. I don't know. Raymond Jacob, MIA. I don't know where Raymond is. He may just be busy with Thanksgiving this weekend in certain ways. Maybe he had to travel or something like that. I'm sure he's around. I don't think he went to the game yesterday. He didn't actually tell us he was coming to the game, I don't think. Racemo saying, get the logo and I'll donate a dozen shirts. This channel deserves it. Awesome, Racemo. That's really sweet of you. I have people that I get shirts made through. It's the vintage store in Kensington, next to the old store I used to work at. They really help me out and give me a good price. I just have to give them the right logo, and they'll put it all out and stuff like that. Logical saying 150 is pretty reasonable. Okay, 150 each to get in the box for the game. Yeah, I mean that's pretty reasonable because you're kind of like lower level. It's kind of like it's 200 level. It's not 300s, but it's not totally down there and stuff like that. We'll have to figure it out. Alistair saying you would cut Juancho and Jay. Okay. 30 people at $150. 30 people at $150. Yeah, okay. That's what it would be for that base price. Okay. We could try and figure it out. I mean, we'll have to see. We may have to do a little Raptors Freak fundraiser for the box seats. Maybe we'll have to do a car wash or something. I don't know. All right, guys, it's almost 2 hours. Let me just look at the box score again, just really quick. Look over it. DeRozan, fantastic. 21 points, 27 minutes, 7 to 12. Perfect at the free throw line. 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. We love you, Demar. We miss you. We want you to have a lot of success. Otherwise, Zach LaVine got clamped by OG Anunoby. That was really good. Vucevic looked good. Io looked good. Green looked good. Drummond hitting those threes, annoying. Kobe White was a little annoying. Caruso looked good. He played very well last night. And the rookie Dalen Terry came in and put a couple of minutes in that were pretty good. Patrick Williams is probably going to lose his starting job, though. That's what I'm hearing out of Bulls fan nation. On our side, Pascal, pretty good. 18 points, 7 to 17. One of these ho-hum games, like I expect more from him, but in a way, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe he's doing really well in preseason because this is very similar to Houston game. He scored well, didn't shoot totally well, but he filled up the stat sheet. 9 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. I can't hate on what Pascal did last night. He was good. OG was struggling a little bit, but 4 points. He did really well on the defensive end. Scotty Barnes showing some signs. 8 rebounds, no assists, didn't like that, but a couple of really good offensive plays early in the game. Fred VanVleet hitting the 3 right away, 3 for 12 from three-point land. That's not the best, but like I said, he'll shoot his way out of it. At least he did hit a couple threes and 5 steals by Fred. That is fantastic. That is something that is really shouldn't be overlooked, that he got 5 steals just by himself. Gary Trent, very solid, 6 for 8, my second star of the game. Perfect at the free throw line. He actually got some rebounds and assists last night. That's not normal for Gary all the time. 17 points. Thad Young was part of that second unit that was absolutely the best unit last night for us, with Juancho Hernangomez and Dalano Banton and him all being the only pluses on the team. He hit his only 3, 2 for 3, 5 points in 6 minutes. Precious struggled, 2 for 10, 6 points. DJ Wilson got 3 points on the 3 points off the free throw line. Didn't do a whole lot. Only took 1 shot. It was a 3 he missed, but whatever. Juancho looked better. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a 3. Gabe Brown missed all of his shots. Koloko missed all of his shots. Champagnie, only 1 point at the free throw line. Not very good. Kem Birch wasn't as sharp last night with 0 for 3, only 2 points, but 4 rebounds in 6 minutes. That's pretty good. Dalano, the star of the game, 11 points in 17 minutes, 4 for 7, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Josh Jackson, not so good. Jeff Doughton, good. 8 minutes, 6 points. Ron Harper Jr., nothing. So, yeah, that's basically the rundown of the box score there. And all the team stat categories we lost: shooting, rebounding, assists, points in the paint, three-pointers, everything except for steals and blocks. That was the only category, and turnovers. Those were the only categories the Raptors won last night. So it's too bad. It's too bad. Okay, so 24 people can be in a box seat. That's the most. 24. So I guess we'll have to do the math. 24 is 200, so it'd be like $200 each. Okay, well, we'll have to figure it out. Maybe some of us it would be worth it to us to do this and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. GoFundMe? We could do a GoFundMe. Yeah, maybe we could. Maybe we could do that. 24 people, $200 each. About that. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll look into it more, and we'll talk more about it in the weeks and months to come and stuff like that. So, yeah, all right. Thanks for joining me today on this reaction for the game against the Bulls yesterday. I hope you guys enjoyed it at home. I know we enjoyed it being in the arena, even though we lost. It was just good fun to see you guys in person and hang out and stuff like that. Once again, big hearts, big W's, W Stream, W Isaac Campbell, W Evelyn, W Callie, W Nameless, W Monique, W Sue, W everybody, W OMARI, W Kene, everybody else. Thanks for being here with me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll be back tomorrow for trivia, 9:30 a.m. Be ready to challenge Shanky and David and Raymond and Tom at the top of the heap in the Raptors trivia. Yeah. Nameless saying, I'm going to create an OnlyFans page to get us box seats. Okay. Hopefully you're a very attractive person and you get lots of money fast, Nameless. I hope so. Thanks, Logical. I'm like I said, I'll watch your new thing this afternoon, very soon. All right, guys, have a great Monday. Start this day off or this week off right with a day off, a long weekend, and just enjoy your time. Once again, we are so grateful and thankful as Canadians on this Canadian Thanksgiving for a game that was invented by one of our own, Mr. James Naismith, Dr. James Naismith. And I appreciate you, Dr. Naismith, on this Thanksgiving. I am grateful to you and the invention that you made and that we all get to enjoy at the Scotiabank Arena and stuff like that. So thank you, Dr. Naismith, and thank you to everybody, friends and family, and all people all around. I love you all. Have a great Monday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Let's go Raptors. Yeah, let's go Raptors. It's that simple.